In a small town where the mountains climb, Tiff and the Punisher fight through time against a force that's cold and cruel, trying to save the family's golden rule. In the snowy reach of Alaskan nights, Spanish stands tall for everyone's rights, with the Constitution as her guiding star, fighting for justice no matter how far. They won't let our families break, holding strong for justice's sake. With every word and every stand, they fight for the freedom of this land. CPS tries to sweep them away, but Tiff and the Punisher are here to stay, reading those rights with hearts so pure, standing their ground so fearless and sure. Spanish voice echoes through frozen air. For every family, she's always there, with a heart full of fire and a mind so clear, fights for what's right, so we have no fear. They won't let our families break, holding strong for justice's sake. With every word and every stand, they fight for the freedom of this land.
I'm just your average parent trying to do right by my kids. Never thought I'd have to, deal with something like this. It was a regular Tuesday afternoon. The kids' toys were scattered everywhere. Then there was a knock at the door. My heart sank when I saw who it was.
Hello, I'm from Child Protective Services. We've received a report and need to inspect your home.
I didn't know what to do. They wanted to come in, look around, talk to my kids. My hands were shaking. I felt like I was doing something wrong even though I knew I wasn't. But then, I remembered something I'd read online about knowing your rights. I took a deep breath and said, "I'm sorry, but unless you have a warrant, I can't let you in." The CPS worker looked surprised. They weren't used to parents knowing their rights. It wasn't easy, but I stood my ground. I protected my family's privacy that day. Remember, when CPS knocks, know your rights. It can make all the difference.
are taking our kids every day. A child a minute, no one has a thing to say for those who have been isolated. Don't be worried, you have a voice today. So listen up everyone, here is the story. Child Protective Services is real. CPS is what they call it. They want our kids because it fills a lot of people's wallet. We all think it won't be us. We say when they come we will be so tough. It all sounds good when there's no one to take them. But when they come, your voice gets to breaking. Stay calm, step away. CPS ain't taking no one today. We are educated. Stay calm, step away. CPS, you need to leave. I know the tricks up your sleeve. You can't do what you're trying to do. We have done our homework. Don't do a damn thing without a warrant. You no longer will steal our kids this way. Tiff and the Punisher have come for the calling. They are giving us the CPS warning. Their voice is loud and clear. We stop losing our kids this year. Tiff wants to fight the entire planet. She is tired of our kids being taken, god damn it. She's been fighting CPS for 30 years, bringing children home from this disgusting mess. The Punisher is screaming out loud, abolish CPS and tear it down. I want all our kids to come back. Look at all those kids' pictures held up by thin ties. Together we are stronger than we need. We will tear down CPS with high speed. We will do so much beating together. Birds of a feather flock together. So watch out CPS, here we come. Picking you one by one. We promise to bring back the family and prosecute the caseworkers unhandily. So give us back the kids you have taken. Tiff and the Punisher sending you all on a vacation. The one with bars in the windows and the only games you play are old Nintendos. Corruption in courts, here we come. We won't stop until it's done. You judges need to learn what you stand for. This is Tiff and the Punisher warrior. And we cry out to all of you out there. We need support for a cause that many don't care. All children are being stolen way too often. So CPS, we plan on doing the stopping. Stop it.
Tiff, it is morning time.
It is. I woke up so late this morning. You should have seen me. I look like a chicken with my head cut off, right? I'm running around. It's
those poor
raining.
kids.
The kids don't want to cooperate.
No, I can see it's just all mayhem letting loose. Ah! Yeah, craziness. But you have your NAACP meeting tonight, so we did this early today for everybody. Surprise everybody with a little morning treat.
Yes.
I don't know if it's a morning treat, but we surprised them anyway. I know it's not that. Pay attention to that breaking news thing that came out, but sorry guys, it's just us.
Yeah.
You know, it's not Gunner's message that he's waiting to get across. It's just us. So that was fun at Deidre's house last night.
Oh yeah, I had fun.
It's a good time. Now you always have fun. Fun is your middle name, for sure.
Yeah.
Did you know I just came across this letter right here? Check this out.
Okay.
And I don't know how. Okay. So it's back from. This is obviously Nancy Schaefer's thing. See this? Trump targets legal corruption and child trafficking in the U.S. and beyond. Says President Donald Trump is aiming at deep-rooted corruption within the legal system, particularly the devastating consequences of laws supposedly designed to promote equality and diversity. These laws have led to a corrupt judicial structure where individuals, especially fathers, have been thrown into prison over child custody and maintenance disputes, often without due process. Now Trump is calling for a full-scale investigation into connections between judges, attorneys, child protective services, foster homes, juvenile detention centers, and prisons. The system has been exposed as a breeding ground for child trafficking and judicial corruption, with powerful elites using legal loopholes to destroy families and silence those who resist.
When did that come out?
This was last month.
Oh, send me that article.
And it says families have been torn apart for years under the pretense of justice. The system, manipulated by corrupt lawyers, activists, judges, and bureaucrats, has become a tool to oppress parents, especially men who are unable to fight back due to financial constraints. Those without powerful legal representation have seen their rights stripped away, often ending up in prison due to biased rulings on custody and child support. Before Trump, no one in power dared to confront this institutional corruption. The courts, media, and political establishments ignored the suffering of thousands, allowing these practices to continue unchecked. Thousands. Should say a lot more than that. Now, Trump is demanding that DOJ launch an investigation into these corrupt networks and dismantles the system that has enabled legal and human rights abuses.
That is exciting.
Yeah. So I don't know I don't know if this is I mean, clearly it's a little bit of an opinion piece because it's from Simon America's Free Press, right-wing voices. But I mean, I don't doesn't seem too far-fetched. I looked at a couple other places and they do check out on fact check, so I'd say that they got it. So that's exciting that Trump, because that's the first time I've heard anything about him with child protective services, other than I don't even think anything. Because he thought he did his reform back in 2020. Those last minutes, he did a bunch of bills that Biden and them stripped away from everybody. And I say everybody because it was all of us that ended up in jail or, rehabs or, like all these places. And people have just been destroyed. And hopefully this isn't a farce and Trump's really coming back to finish what he started. I really hope he is, but it just seems, I know mainstream news isn't going to cover this stuff. Mainstream news is not going to let anybody know that there's anything going on like this, that we're all whack jobs and so on. But if you look at tidbits around around this web thing of ours, there is things out there that says that Trump is doing stuff.
Well, not just Trump, his whole administration, right?
Right.
Because I told you last week that RFK put out a statement saying they were eliminating X amount of judges, and then Virginia came in line and said 10,000 social workers are going to be fired in the state of Virginia. So they're aligning with the federal government because that's what they have to do.
Right. Yep.
What is that federal code that you found the other day that eliminates CPS's immunity?
Oh my gosh, really? It is.
Just give me the code. I'll look it up myself.
I gotta find the code. I'm not one of these human machines that just know stuff off the top of my head. I don't just absorb it like most.
Yeah, I hear you.
Some things I absorb well. Like how to make a sandwich. Let's see here. Oh boy, I don't know. Uh, I get nervous here for some reason. Yeah, this is where is it? Let's see, where are you? Code policps.com. There you go. Resources. Where are you? Resources. But I really need to go back through and do some more organizational skills here.
Yeah, I don't want to talk about that because mine's still unorganized too.
Yeah, but I don't ask you to find stuff for me. You ask me to find stuff for you. So the organization skills is more my problem than yours.
Yes, Deidre, we really are up this early because I have a meeting tonight. So I wanted to do a show this morning so that we didn't miss Thursday. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back to sleep. You can watch it later.
No, Deidre, get up. Why don't you come on the show, Deidre? You always complaining and whining. Let's go. It's field trip day. Get up. She ain't gonna get up. Either that or she's freaking out right now. She's probably tearing up trying to find her laptop or whatever she uses to film herself.
And don't forget,
Poor
she got to go
husband.
put some makeup on.
Yeah, and her hair's all messed up.
I just threw mine in a ponytail.
I just put a hat on mine. I just cut mine. You were watching me. I cut my hair.
Yeah, I was.
Yep. Sure was. Where the hell is this thing? I'll find it for you.
That's okay. So while you're looking for that, I just want to read. Of course, you know I had to print my stuff out because I look like a typewriter.
Yeah.
So 4 out of 5 children, that's more than 80% or 78%, are subject to reports that turn out to be false. That's a high number.
Yeah. It's a very high number.
Right.
There's only one. There's only 2 more numbers that could be higher than that.
More than 83% of indicated substantiated reports are neglect. And that is because neglect is such a broad word, just like if it's a little word with a big meaning. They use that to keep children in the system. You tell me one parent, even our parents and our grandparents and so on and so forth, has not from time to time, not willfully or purposely neglected because to do something for a child at that right then and there because they were doing something else. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It says 92% of children who were subject to the calls of abuse hotline were not, in fact, victims from any abuse, neglect, or physical. That's a high number.
You imagine if that was your number at a job or something, you'd be fired.
Right. And then they got this little pie thing, this little circle. And I want everybody to see it before I read it. Now, the blue screen is out and false. Look at the false reports that come in every day. Look how much blue is on there. The red is real neglect.
Wow.
And the green is real abuse.
Wow.
And yet, we are not getting children home. because of the money. And if anybody wants to look this up for yourself, you can go to NCCPF, I think it's .org. It's National Coalition for Child Protection Reform. It has the money in there, how much money they get. It has so many articles. There's even a blog where you can sign up for emails for a blog from these people. I suggest people do that. It says 1 out of 3 girls and 1 out of 10 boys will be sexually abused during their childhood in foster care.
That's 66%. That's a terrible number.
And it says recently another comprehensive review of the literature put out the actual figure, again, involving this is sexual abuse by anyone at 9%. It went from 9% to 11% for girls, 5% to 6% for boys. That's 8 boys out of 10.
Jesus.
But yet parents are horrible.
Yeah. The ones where they're sitting at their houses by themselves.
Right. Who didn't do anything.
Yep. People like me and you and, everybody else. The 83% that you're talking about there. Look, life happens to people. You know what I mean? Shit happens. You can't stop that. No one's perfect. I don't care who you are. If you're Donald Trump or you're Elon Musk or you're Joe Biden or you're whatever, shit's going to happen. Things go down, you run into parts of your life where it's just not perfect at that moment. And, just whatever it is, what it is. But that doesn't mean that you're a bad parent. It doesn't mean that you have the right to get a death penalty of getting your kid taken from you at all. It's not even close. Now, if you're open hand smacking your kid and putting black eyes on them, you're damn lucky I don't come beat your ass. But you should be having your kid taken from you, and they should be going to a good family. But that's not the case. That's not who they're saving. They're not helping these kids. That's why they're dying. Because why? Because they're not sellable. They're not, as Nancy Schaefer used to say, they're not good merchandise. No one wants an abused child. No one wants that. Everybody wants a 3 or 4 year old that's been potty trained from a good family that doesn't have any problems. And wada bing, bada boom, add child, instant family. That's what they want. So that's what this business of child protective services got to do. And it's wrong. It's very wrong. Number one, the shame and guilt that they put onto a parent is sickening. To make you feel like you've done something wrong, to abandon your kid this way, because it is abandoning your kid. But it makes you so sick to know that they're not telling them, in the foster families or whatever, are not telling them any of the truths. Which they're supposed to be doing that. That's what the rules say. The rules say that foster care families are supposed to be doing everything in their power to make sure that reunification becomes a reality. So I don't put all this blame on CPS. I put a lot of this blame on these foster families. These ones that are getting this money in their head over the fact that reunification is what they're supposed to be supporting and promoting. And that's what I have to say about that.
Then the foster versus family preservation. It says at the heart of criticism of family whatever is one overriding assumption. It's early that if you remove a child from its home, the child will be safe. If you leave a child at the home, the child is at risk. In fact, there can be risk in either direction, but real family preservation programs have better record of safety. Now listen to this. To understand why, we must first understand one fundamental fact about foster care. It is not safe. That's what it says.
Right?
It says a child in foster care is 4 times more likely to be abused in the custody of the state in foster care. 10 times more likely to be abused, and it's all the abuse, in a facility.
Yeah.
But yet we're taking children out of homes that would fare better in the home to put them in even more danger with strangers who don't have an emotional connection, only a financial gain, to abuse these kids that we're trying to save. And when I say we are trying to save, it's because we're not getting paid. They are. They're not saving them. They're putting them in harm's way.
You're damn right they are.
So your perfectly normal child, right, who has not been abused or neglected, is taken from you, put into a system that's going to abuse them. And if you're lucky, you get a child back, not yours, that has to go through a lifetime of therapy because they have PTSD, they have separation issues, they have multiple personality disorder. Just think about that. Blows my mind. Or here in Virginia, you think you're going to a dependency hearing, you get into court, and these motherfuckers have given your children to the very abuser you're trying to get rid of, because they know at some point those children are going into the system.
All right. Yep. That's what they're doing. They deserve to be in like Disney World or something, not in these bastards' houses that are beating them and sexually molesting them. Like, these kids have already come from a bad enough situation. And why would it be okay to continue to put them in worse ones? You know, we have that study, that harm of removal and everything, that shows that this is no good for them. Even an abused child in a minor abuse situation, well, I don't think any situation of abuse is minor, but, and you know what I'm saying when I say this, you know, when it's, you know, I don't even know how to word or phrase it. Or either way, it doesn't matter. Even when there's a mild amount of abuse going on in the home, they say keep the kid in the home, because the detriments of them removing them and going away from their security blanket does so much harm to them. It's not even worth the goodness that it creates for them.
And then they're putting this system that is teaching them how to fail, right? Because I think I saw the report, it's like 80 or 85% of children that have had some kind of dealings with CPS in the foster system end up in prison.
Wow.
So we're taking good kids, turning them into these shells, who are so angry when they get out of foster care that they're out here committing crimes because they've been a victim of an abusive state government.
Yeah. Yep.
And you know what's funny? I have yet to see a state be charged with failure to protect a child in foster care when a child in their custody has been abused, murdered, hurt, amputated limbs. I have yet to see a state be held accountable, but they want to hold parents accountable.
Oh,
But I do believe change is coming. And I think it's going to be swift when it comes down. Darren, did you find that code?
Yeah, I'm still looking for it. Now she got me stuck in all of this
Oh, I'm
stuff right
sorry.
now, Tiff. I'm looking through all these other. Now I'm stuck in affidavit of proof of claim demand, affidavit of motions to vacate, adopt termination of parental rights, CPS guide to protect your constitutional rights. Answer to count. Yeah, I have so much stuff here. I can't believe this.
Well, you need to start sending me some of
Annual
that
report.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Unless I send it to you. I already have it.
Hold on here. I'll send you my go-to here. I think this is it right here. No, this is child ombudsman report. My God. Invoke child. Oh, I think this is it right here. Okay,
Hold on, let me get my pen.
Cool.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, you've been begging, you've been yelling at me about this. You don't even have a freaking
Okay,
pen.
I got it.
All right. 18 USC section 5033.
All right, I'm going to look that up later and put it on Facebook.
Yeah, because we need to make sure that it's right and it can be used in that way. Yeah, but it's good stuff. Definitely check it out. Boy, but don't I have a ton of stuff? Wow, don't I have a lot of
God, yeah, you got to send that to Tiffany so she can print it out.
Woo! Yes, I gotta send that to Tiffany right now. What is that? What is this? I don't even know what this is. It's so good. I'll send that to Tiffany too.
I also
She can be printing all day
want
today.
people to do what Dave said. I want you to go to his Facebook group and just do a 3 to 5 minute video. Say your name, where you're from, and what happened to you, and tell these people you want accountability. You want an investigation. Because we need to keep moving the needle. Like Sylvia said, it's time to put the pedal to the metal now because we can't stop.
That's what I said.
Oh, my bad. That's what Darren said.
Jesus almighty.
Look, I'm getting older.
Yo, yes, you're not. You are. I'm catching
I know
up to
you are.
Let's see. I'm trying to look at all of this stuff that I have.
Well, I guess I'll be waiting on a whole bunch of emails from you today.
I know I would just send you the folders, but I'm afraid of some of the stuff that might have slipped into the files when I just put them in folders.
And they also could be too big to send.
You gotta be careful with this stuff. Well, I'm just more worried about what might have gotten in there. You don't need to be seeing any of my cleaning videos or any of that stuff from my old days of being a bio-recovery.
Oh, God, no, please don't send none of that. I'll be passed out on the floor.
I know. That's what I'm talking about.
So, again, I just want to reiterate how proud I am of these 6 parents that spoke here in Winchester City on Tuesday. I'm so proud of that. I wish we could get everybody to do what they did. Walk into these meetings with your chest stuck out and your head held up high and say, we the people have had a fucking enough. You take care of this or we will. That's really what they need to say.
Oh. Oh my goodness.
And the website is actually nccpr.org.
Oh yeah, you want to look at that?
Yeah. That's the charts I was showing you. If you go into the menu,
yeah, what is the website again now?
nccpr.org.
NCCPR. TR.ORG. Whoa.
I'm looking for the one that says incentives.
Incentives.
Yeah, it's in one of the. It might be in paper. Oh, if you go into the menu and it says issue papers, go down to number 12.
Issue papers, yeah.
Financial incentives.
Financial incentives. All right, got it. Let's pull it up. Let's share it.
Yeah, because they can't deny it.
Hey, everybody. I'm sorry. What do we got in the chat? Who do we got up there while I'm doing this? Who do we got? Who we got to say hi to up there? Facts Over Lies is with us, I see. Right here, financial. Mackenzie Sweetser, my baby. Can we simply make it illegal to take our kids? Now, wouldn't that be something? Why can't we do that, right? Why cannot we not make it just, you know what? Screw you. You can't take our kids. I mean, we pretty much can, right? Or we should. We the people. I mean, imagine how many people does it take to get a bill off the ground and get that going? Like, if I would, I wrote an abolish CPS bill. How long would it take? What is the bill process? Do you know the bill process and how that would go?
I know it takes a couple of months. Here in Virginia, and our bills that get passed, they pass them in March or deny them in March, and they start July 1st or January 1st, depending on when they got approved.
Okay, I see. Federal reimbursement of foster care costs comes in the form of a giant open-ended entitlement known as Title 4E. Every eligible child, the federal government reimburses states anywhere from 50 to 83 cents on the dollar. Federal funding for family preservation and family support found in funding stream known as Title 4B is less. As a result, in 2023, for every dollar the federal government spent to prevent foster care or reunify families, it was projected to spend nearly $15 on foster care and adoption. Wow.
Go ahead and ask your question.
Well, federal dollars.
Go ahead, Darren. No, somebody has a serious question.
Oh,
I don't know.
Anticipation's killing me. Come on, Mackenzie. I don't have this kind of. The kids in foster cares run away from the foster care places and CPS and they join gangs. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. It's a bad place, because there's a lot of these foster parents that they don't care where the kids even go. They're not even, all they want to do is just show me that check, and they just let these kids run the streets. They let them, do whatever the hell they want. I mean, and the reality of it is teen kids probably love that situation. So it's not a good mix. That's not what parenting is meant to be. Like those years of being a teenager and everything are meant to be like, those are those crucial years where you got to gain control of your child and make sure that they are doing what they're supposed to be doing and focusing and doing school and all that. When they're in foster care and they got these parents that don't kid, that's how they get into drugs and booze and partying and, all of those things that they're not supposed to be doing, or end up missing or pregnant or dead, because the foster care family doesn't care. That's it. That's where we lose them.
And they don't even report them missing, because if they report them missing, then they don't get that money.
Right. Weeks. It's a perfect storm. It really is for a child to go missing, because they create this. Okay, you or I, we don't know where our kid is once they're in that foster care system and they go array or whatever. So if they were missing, You would never know. No one's going to call you and tell you that your child's missing because it's not your child anymore. You've been TPR'd. Then if your child went missing from there, if they don't care, they're not going to report it either. So how would you ever even know that your child is missing? You know?
And
oh, hello, Debbie.
And I think the statistic was 60 to 80%. I'm not sure about the number. Don't quote me on it. That the children that are adopted out and right back up in the foster care system because the foster parents can't deal with them.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of that too.
So we're in a vicious cycle, right? It's time to stop the cycle. It's just like it's no different than being in a domestic violence relationship. The only difference is it's coming from the state. The violence is coming from the state, not the parents. The violence is coming from the state, not the parents.
Right. Keep waiting for Mackenzie's question. The hypothetical one. Come on, Mackenzie, lay it on us. This drives me nuts sometimes, waiting for this. You know, like when you do a message in Messenger and someone's typing back to you and you just see those little balls going up and down. You're like, come on, just say what you're going to say. And then the balls stop and they go away and they reset. You're like, what the heck?
Or it's just one word.
Well, Mackenzie, I'm
okay.
All right, so where are we? The ratio applies even when including funds from the so-called Family First Prevention Services Act. Yes, that law allows federal dollars formally limited to the funding foster care to be used for a very small number of alternatives. But they are so lost my place. To funding foster care to be used for a very small number of alternatives. But the limits are so severe that the Congressional Budget Office estimated it would free up an average of only about $130 million per year for those alternatives, which was projected to be $185 million over the
So when CPS workers tell you they're not getting incentives to remove your children, you could just go ahead and pull this up.
Hold it. Yeah, hold it. Let's see. Alternatives. Separation province line. Other prevention funds to be diverted to foster care. A wide variety of services. Unfortunately, there's evidence that states actually are using at least one of these funding streams to take dollars out of the pockets of impoverished families in order to pay for keeping their children in foster care. Wow, I could never imagine my kid going into foster care. You wear one on your thing.
If we took that money and put it into the family that needs the help, there would not be a lot of money going out through. It would not be that high because it doesn't take much to get a family back on track.
Right.
Mackenzie said, I didn't realize I had a word limit amount.
She just used it up writing that statement.
In some states, you are automatically getting an attorney if you're dealing with CPS. Like Virginia, they automatically give you a lawyer. But they don't do anything. So it defeats the purpose, right? Because you could probably go in there and represent yourself better than the lawyer would because the lawyer works for the state.
Yeah, better. they have better key judgment issues than that. It's fucking fun. Yep.
I don't understand the question, Mackenzie.
Santa.
So Sunday, or one Sunday, if it's not this Sunday, I'm going to meet with these people here in Winchester, and I'm going to try and get you on just like a Zoom meeting, Darren, because we're going to teach these people how to keep CPS at bay. Because the more you know, the less they will interact with you. Because believe it or not, you can traumatize a CPS worker if you know how to do it right.
Yeah, but what they do is get a restraining order on you.
But here's the thing, what's good for one is good for the other. So you do it first. You trespass them and you serve them with the color of law before anything can happen to you.
Yes. Kids wait for reasons of resident poverty that was seen.
When you represent yourself, the judge gives you more leeway, believe it or not, because you're not a lawyer. But the best way to understand their terminology is to go to Amazon and get the legal word terms. I think that's what it's called, the book. Because "and" is different in court than it is out here. Every word is different, right? It's a word game. So you have to know when they're saying, well, and, or as or what. Everything is different than regular people, right? Right. You have to speak their language. And object to everything. I don't care if it's true or not. Object to it, because if you object to it, it can't go on record.
Yeah.
Well, Darren, is there anything else you want to talk about?
Hold on, reading this stuff right now.
Okay.
Adoption just it's still another awful incentive. ASPA includes bounties to states up to $10,000 or more per child for every adoption they finalize over a target number set through a complex formula. The bounty is paid when the adoption is finalized, so there is an incentive to place a child with little concern about whether the placement really will last. Indeed, adoption disrupts and the child is placed again. The state can collect another bounty. There's been one small improvement in the program. Bounties are paid for placing children in subsidized guardianships, also arrangements with extended family, but those payments are lower. Wow. None of this means that local government make money on foster care. It would just mean that foster care can cost them less than programs to keep children out of foster care. Wow. That's crazy. Hey, did you hear David Strait died?
No.
Yeah. So
the singer, right?
No, Tiffany, the guy that helps fight CPS and stuff. You know, the guy that does like the constitutional law stuff. He's the one that says you can go and well, I don't know. I'll put it up here for you.
Oh, the older dude that beats him in court.
Yes, I think so. I think that's who you're talking about.
Hold on, let me see. I got him on my. Hold on. This guy?
Let me see. Hold up. No, not that guy. I love him. What's his name? That guy's great.
Carl Miller.
Carl Miller, yeah. No, David Strait is. Let's see here. I'll put him up here. He has a lot of seminars. He's a constitutional lawyer, David Strait.
Oh, while you do that, let me tell you what my dad told me.
Okay.
He said, "You tell your partner, Darren, that I got 2 million views and I need to get paid."
Yeah. That's funny. He's a good dude. Your dad's a good dude.
Yeah.
David Strait.
He's hilarious.
Where is David Strait? It says that there is a. Let's see here. David Lawrence Strait, January 30th, 2025. He had just gotten arrested for not too long ago.
You say his name's David Strait?
David Strait, correct. David Strait. Let's see here. Let's see if I can pull some. Here we go. This guy right here. This guy.
We have 15 grandkids. 6 of them, my first 6, were taken away from me at one point in time. And I fought and I got them back. And ever since that time, I've been helping families keep their kids. I've been in over 2,000 courtrooms. I've studied history for 50 years and law for 30. Okay? And I've been in over 2,000 courtrooms. I've proved things in federal court that many people don't even know exist. Like how you're all being trafficked right now. There's 3 kinds of trafficking out there. 3 kinds. Yeah, there's the adults, the hookers and johns that we all know about. I wish they wouldn't use the term trafficking with that group. Although, many of them start off as children. But when it comes to children, children are innocent. They're innocent of everything. And it's up to the parents to recognize things. And many parents don't recognize what's right under their nose. Okay? And they don't recognize it till it's too late. These books, these heavy documents, that's just my presentation. I have boxes and boxes and boxes, Rubbermaid containers of evidence that we've collected by a little team. My little team that works off all volunteer, all dollars, $25 from you and $50 from you and $100 from you, and me going around the country and putting on seminars to raise money to stop this. And there's probably nobody in the country that knows it better than I do. Because I get 35, I won the hearts of the mothers and fathers in this nation first. And I get 35 to 100 phone calls a day from mothers and fathers. David, can you help me get my kids back? And it's heartbreaking. Okay. And just in our court systems alone, I brought back more than 3,000 children through our courts. I gather and collect evidence all over this country. I've been in 13 states and 27 cities since April. Okay? I'm everywhere. And the reason I'm telling you this is all this stuff It's happening right under your noses, just like it was happening under her parents' nose. It's happening right under your noses, and you don't know it. I'm going to ask for help, have her roll this out. Now I'm going to get into trap. Just had to say that.
He has some pretty good stuff, though. If you look him up on YouTube, and you'll find a bunch of good stuff about him. He talks about jurisdiction. He talks about all kinds of things.
Yeah, I just found him. I'm gonna watch some of, well, listen to while I work today. Damn, I wish we could have got him on our show.
Well, I don't think that we can now.
No, I don't think so either. Not unless you resurrect him.
Well, I don't know if it's true or not, but like here's one of his ones in his seminars right here. And you can put them all together, and he charges a bunch of them. This is here's a good one right here. Check this out.
Property, land patents, titles, how you own houses, how to steal your property.
So title, how does that work? Is actually just a card or how you do it on a card?
Oh, I did write it.
Something. Okay.
We skipped right over stuff. Much longer, should we jump right around? MSO, MCO. Manufacturer's statement of origin or manufacturer's certificate of origin. It depends on the manufacturer and where the car is manufactured. Okay? Statement. In the United States, most of our car manufacturers use the MSO, manufacturer's statement of origin.
Or manufacturer. What's the system for it?
In Europe, you buy a
Trying to think,
BMW
if I didn't get one where he has David Street CPS, he talks about it.
Okay.
You have to go to your state.
Well,
Let's see, here we go.
Yes, Mackenzie. I know exactly who you're talking about. She was my grandson's guardian, and she's 5'10" short of a 6'5".
So aren't they supposed to be your public servant? Aren't you supposed to be the boss and them the employee? Well, then how come you stood up when the judge walked into the room? Because the minute you stood up, you said, I'm the employee. Employees stand when the boss walks into the room. You know what the boss does when an employee walks up to the room? He leans back in his chair, he puts his feet up on the desk, and he grabs a cigar. Okay? That's what the boss does. So the judge, he walked through the door from his chambers in the courtroom. The bailiff says, all rise for the Honorable Judge Bob Smith, and everybody stands up. If there's one person sitting down, the judge walks over, and just before he sits in the chair, he scans the room. Do you know the bailiff also scans the room? Because after the court's done, he has to swear an affidavit that no one was sitting when the judge walked in. Okay, he's the witness. Because the guy challenging his jurisdiction is the one that's still sitting. You stand up, you're automatically a citizen. They've got tacit agreement that you're a citizen. They have to get tacit agreement of 4 things, and they're going to presume it. Okay, first of all, it's all through presumption. Presumption, assumption, hearsay, and previously are the 4 most important words in law, and they're not going to teach you that in law school, I guarantee it. And I love what they teach us in law school. No. All right. Policy and procedure, and how to remain an honor and not dishonor. And they teach us a lot of language and how to be a good secretary, and how to do forms in proper manner. What font type size to use, and how to space things, and they teach us all that good stuff in law school. But they don't teach us the law, and that's an interesting fact. They just don't teach us the law. They don't teach us the order of the law. They don't teach where it comes from. They don't teach proper jurisdiction. So anyway, I got a little off track. I get heated on these kind of topics, but forgive me for that. But when
Anyway, you check out a bunch of his stuff. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to listen to him today. And Mackenzie, I'm trying to get you all together on a Sunday, so work out your schedule so that we can meet. And we won't go live yet, but me and Darren are going to try and teach you guys the best ways to take on child protective services and these judges.
We're gonna take them on, all right. We're gonna set them straight.
To prison.
Yep, that's in the song.
Sure is.
Yep, listen to the song. It'll tell you everything. Everything you need to know is right in that song.
In fact, I'm gonna send it to one of the girls or give it to them when they meet with us so that they can play it at the next meeting. Put it right up to the microphone.
Hell yeah. Yeah, after you come rolling in with your top down.
Well, if I could get my t-shirts and I could clear my schedule, we might be able to do a live. But they're like 2 hours long, and I don't want to be there that long. I want my three little minutes to tell them I'm coming for your asses, and everybody sitting in those seats. I hope you are not reelected because you're not doing shit for the people that put you in those chairs. And then just play the song.
Just like that.
That's right.
All right. Hey, Tiff, it's weekend time for you.
Yeah, you too.
Well, I've got some other things I've got to do, but yeah, it's close enough.
All right.
So
make sure you get me that stuff so that I can print it, because you know I look like a typewriter when I got to reach in my fucking phone. Ding, ding. That's what I look like.
All right, everybody, have a good weekend. We're out of here.
See you on Monday.
Oh, damn. You go, Louie. Give me a call, Louie.
The Constitution we love is faded. Make no tread on the reality, or the USA will be the next casualty. We are here for freedom, those we will protect. Unite for the values we cherish, or watch everything perish. Our men have fought for our freedoms, many women have too. Their blood spilled upon the ground, with the news many frown. They paid a price that many won't pay. Now we are letting their cause fade away. The graves are being neglected by the actions of so many deceptive. The freedoms they fought for in every world war, conflict or mission. So many stayed behind, signing petitions. While those awake dying were there to protect them. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are taking our children more and more every day. No soldier ever fought for taking our children away. This is not why they bled for our freedom. They didn't die for some cheap pay. We all need to come together, fight this corruption, and it starts today. We need to wake up America, go back to parades, remember true family values, laugh again as children play. These are the things we fought for, 200 years strong, but now we're losing all of this. Don't tread on me does exist. So rise up and be strong. We don't have to go along. We need to push back now, like our forefathers did. It's time to bring back the way it was, when families lived together, all that mattered was love. It's not always easy to take back what they have grabbed. With all of us together we can do it, two loving children and mom and dad. This is our country, it's called USA. So many have fallen, say don't tread on me today. It's time to wake up in the USA. We are all slipping away into the darkness we once ran from. It's getting worse every day. Now they are country, it's called